First of all, thank you, Vernon, and the whole Visor team for giving us the opportunity to interact with your many readers and followers. Really excited to have this opportunity.
Let's go!
A few years ago, Volkswagen Philippines made the decision to align its business and product offering to the VW global position, which is German European technology, precision, safety, and quality accessible to a wide segment of car buyers, delivered at reasonably accessible price points. The models that we already have here in the Philippines have historically, for decades, been exclusively manufactured and available only for Volkswagen's single largest market in the whole world. The Philippine market is actually fortunate to have access to these products that are tried and tested in operating environments that are very similar to Philippine road conditions. The Santana was actually the first model and vehicle that Volkswagen designed and manufactured for the Chinese market in China. We will continue to add to our existing models by introducing vehicles that cater to many of the existing and emerging segments in the Philippine market. Actually, we at Volkswagen Philippines continue to review our parts pricing. No? And in our recent analysis, we took a look at the 5-year total cost of ownership of our Volkswagen vehicles. So in particular, the T-Cross, which is launching pretty soon, we found that compared to a similar basket of vehicles that are available in the market, the cost of maintaining a T-Cross over a 5-year period is actually significantly lower than the comparable basket, almost 40%. This is really driven in large part by the fact that the T-Cross, just like our other Volkswagen vehicles, only requires a 1-year periodic maintenance service visit. In addition to that, like all our other Volkswagen vehicles, the T-Cross also comes with a 3-year or 100,000 kilometer warranty, whichever comes first over that period. Currently, we are actually preparing to announce that we will be making a price adjustment with respect to the parts that we have available. And this adjustment should further bring down the cost of maintaining a Volkswagen and, of course, the cost of purchasing spare parts in the unfortunate event that you need it. In addition, we make it a point and we exert every effort to ensure that we have the available parts, at least in country, for all the vehicles that we offer to the local market. I can tell you that we are certainly looking to add more products to our portfolio to complement and supplement the existing ones that we already have. So one of the first products that we're adding, as I said, is the T-Cross, which is a subcompact SUV 5-seater that we think will meet a lot of the needs and requirements of the motoring public. As we look to add product to our portfolio, among the things we consider certainly is, first of all, there is a market need. And in the case of the T-Cross, we've noticed that there is a trend or an emerging preference for the SUV format. And that's why we decided to bring this to the market. I can say that maintaining a Volkswagen is very much comparable to owning, as you mentioned, the other two brands. I think one of our advantages is that you only need to bring your car in for periodic maintenance once a year or 10,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. This has a significant impact on the cost of maintaining your Volkswagen vehicle over a period of multiple years. In terms of availability of spare parts, we make every effort to have spare parts available at all our dealerships nationwide. We currently have 9, and of course, we will continue to work to expand that dealership network in the years to come. We are trying to bring in vehicles that we believe will be appealing to the Philippine market. We've made a conscious effort to try and offer products that really bring value to the customer, but not only price. I also like to point out that, a Volkswagen vehicle does come with certain inherent qualities of being a Volkswagen. For one, it is manufactured to global Volkswagen standards, right? All Volkswagen manufacturing plants across the world are required to conform to these standards. That, of course, means that the products that come out of these plants must meet the quality and reliability standards, and certainly they must perform like a Volkswagen vehicle. So that means that when you get into a car, a Volkswagen vehicle here in the Philippines, you should be able to feel and experience what it's like to be driving a Volkswagen and a European designed, a European engineered vehicle. This may be different from what you would experience from a vehicle manufactured by other brands, right? And we think that the inherent qualities of Volkswagen vehicles can compete quite well with other brands and products that are being offered in the market. Actually, globally, Volkswagen is focusing on engine technologies that are lower in emissions and that have less of an environmental impact. This is all actually headed towards the direction of the eventual adoption of electric vehicles. No? We expect this trend to actually carry through here in the Philippines. So what we are actually seeing more and more of now are low displacement, high power petrol engines taking the place of diesel engines that we used to see in some of the Volkswagen cars. We expect this trend to continue moving forward, but it also doesn't mean that diesels will be completely eliminated from the product portfolio. So as I said again, we're fairly certain that this is a question of when, not if. But unfortunately, at this point in time, I cannot give concrete timelines. But certainly, I can assure the public and, of course, interested parties such as yourselves that we are working upon it, that we are very conscious of this trend that is materializing and developing globally. And we certainly intend to be part of this shift and to contribute and make it possible for the Philippine market to also make this shift eventually when the time is right. When it happens, we intend to be part of that shift. And we will continue to work with our partners at Volkswagen to define a roadmap towards or that will spell out how we bring electric vehicles into the Philippines. I think important to note also and to share with you guys is obviously a shift like this, which is a very fundamental shift given that it's a transition from one drivetrain to another and one form of engine to another. This doesn't happen overnight and there are multiple dependencies involved, not the least of which, of course, is the infrastructure required to support a shift of this nature. We're actually very happy to know that there are a number of VW followers here who are still familiar with many of the VW models, such as the Jetta, Golf, Passat, etc., that we previously had. A lot has actually changed in our market in the last few years since we had these products. We know these changes actually prevents us from offering those same models at their previous price levels. At the projected levels, the models would actually not align with their respective global Volkswagen positions. Having said this, we invite those who are still interested in these models to let us know. We can request Volkswagen Germany to perhaps allow us to order these vehicles on an indent basis. And if they agree, we'd be happy to bring them in for you. Regarding your comment on the ID4, Christopher, as previously mentioned, believe that electric vehicles are certainly part of our future. We just don't know yet when they will arrive on our shores. I recognize and realize that Volkswagen does have a reputation in the motorsports field globally. I think that currently with the pandemic going on here in the Philippines, it would be hard for us to undertake or to look to stage any motorsports event. Just want to make sure that, of course, people who attend our events and our employees are also safe. But we certainly welcome suggestions such as the one you gave. We'll keep it in mind and we'll take it into consideration as we try to lay out the future plan for the brand here in the Philippines. So thank you again. I agree with you. Certainly, the Filipino consumer is making his decision based on the value proposition that we as automotive brands have to offer to them. No? In my mind, the value proposition is a combination of a few factors, right? It is a combination of, for example, visible features and qualities of the vehicle. There are the invisible qualities and technology embedded in the vehicle itself. And of course, the counterpoint to that will be the price of the vehicle itself, right? In this regard, our current portfolio of products are actually offered at the sub 1 million peso range because we were and we are trying to make Volkswagen vehicles even more accessible to our Filipino consumers, no? And make it easier essentially for Filipinos to find themselves in a Volkswagen vehicle. All the vehicles that are currently in our lineup carry, we believe, this value proposition. Some of the features will be apparent on the surface of the vehicle, both interior and exterior. Other values and qualities are actually less visible in the way that the body is constructed, in the kind of metal that is used. And when you put all these things together, what you get is actually a Volkswagen vehicle that still delivers on the Volkswagen promise: quality, reliability, and of course, safety.